Alright, now we're going to send a fax and take advantage of some of the options that are available to us when doing so. Once again, more info needed. You're going to discover as we go on with this training I get a lot less creative. And so we'll manifest that with laziness up there. Again, we'll send it to Marge Simpson. And we're going to send this to the invalid number, just for fun. And we'll leave the notify email again. And at the end of this, I will show you what the notification looks like. All right, so we've defined the basics of our fax. Now we can look at what are our available options in here. As you saw when configuring the recipients, we could notify the recipient on message success or message failure. We can also do that for ourselves. So if you want to know when a fax goes through or doesn't, you can tag that. In this case, we will say notify me on message failure because most of the time you really don't care to know when a fax has gone through. You just assume it does. Hold for preview generates the fax and then hangs on to it until you explicitly tell it to send it. This gives you a chance to go look at the fax, make sure it rendered properly and everything looks the way you want it to look. You probably won't use this all that much, but when you're creating new cover sheets or testing new document library items, you may want to do this just to make sure that everything looks right. And delay until allows you to postpone the sending of the fax or the message until a later time. So let's say we wanted this to go out Friday night. We can set it for Friday night at 3 a.m. You would do this if, for example, you're doing a fax to a lot of people and you don't want to block out your fax lines during the day. You want to send it at night when no one else is sending anything. You can set the priority of the fax. Now generally you're going to want to leave this at lowest. This allows higher priority faxes to preempt yours. The reason this is important is most of the time it's not an issue, but if someone in your organization needs to get an emergency fax out, such as notifying people of closing due to weather or any other type of information that could be considered critical, they can set it with a higher priority, which will then push your fax down to the bottom of the queue. Of course, if you're the person sending the high priority fax, you should change the importance level. Billing code just allows you to enter a billing code, and tracking info is where you can enter information you want to be able to find this fax with later. These fields can be named anything you want, and the system supports up to 5 fields. Right now we're using the default tracking info, and we're going to say we're going to give this a text called RFP, request for proposal dash ABC. Okay, yeah, usually you use something a bit better, but we're just using this for sample purposes. Now note, I have the hold for preview checked. I'm going to clear the delay until. I don't want it to be held. Now we're going to hit send, and then the system is going to go render the fax like it always does in the outbox, and then after it's being rendered, oops, there we go. It's on hold now, and if we open it up, and we'll go into the message viewer in depth. See, it was rendered very quickly since it was just the cover page. It went straight. It was rendered and then went straight from the outbox into hold before I could even show it to you in the outbox. This is our fax. It's been held for us, and okay, it looks beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and close this. And now to send the fax, we just select it. If you had multiple held, you could select them. Go to the Actions menu and choose Resume Message. That will put it back into the outbox, and now you can see it's scheduled, and there we go. Now it's being sent. Now, same as last time, this is going to be an invalid phone number, so this fax will eventually fail, and then I'm going to bring up the failure notification message as soon as it does. So once again, we'll pause the video. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and the fax has been sent. And as expected, it has been failed. So now I want you to see what the failure message looks like through. So we're just going to flip over to this throwaway account, and we can see here this is the email message that was sent to Marge, and it explains that where it's coming from and why it failed, when it was sent, how many delivery attempts were made. Okay, now you'll also notice it actually did attach the fax here. So if we click on this and open it, they do get the fax that way. Alright, so with that now done, we have covered the basics of sending faxes, and the next step is going to be reviewing the message viewer, which you got a quick glimpse of, and then we'll go through setting tracking info and then managing folders and wonderful stuff like that.